the regional standards are as a result of about, I suppose, a year now of thinking about what's happening across the Southwest in terms of the practice that people adopt for participation of children and young people and their parents, and setting some benchmarks, really, some standards, making some standard statements across 4 different principles. The 4 principles we've been looking at are engagement. How do we help people to become a part of it? How do we help people to take part in development of services, either their individual service or the strategic service development? We've looked at enablement, which is about helping people to actually be a part of it, what supports they might need, what training they might need. And we've looked at access and equality. Are people able to actually be there within the context of a level playing field? And finally, we've looked at the evaluation, transparency. Impact and transparency is the 4th participation principle. And we're just really trying to help people to think about where you're at, what are you doing, and what would it take to move the participation agenda on.
I think that we're doing very well in the special school setting itself. I take charge of the looked after children reviews in our school, of which I think we've got 10 that I have to do during the year, and it always surprises me that looked after children are not having this sort of review unless they've got a statement of needs, and very much actually pushing so that all looked after children get this sort of review is really important. And I've got other colleagues here today that have actually agreed with that process and feel that taking those reviews to children in the mainstream could well be the catalyst for other people actually saying, well, our statement, your children really need this too. So I'm absolutely certain that at Pathfield, at governorship level, we'll be doing outreach into the mainstream schools to push this process forward for the children and young people that really need it. What we find is, and this is nationally I think the case, that children in transition, when they are looked after, that's when the placements break down, when they have to change schools, and this is why they're low attainers. And if we can facilitate the process of asking the difficult questions in year 9 before the placements break down, then perhaps we can stop some of those placements break down. Or it may be that the child actually needs to move, so that we can actually support that process, ask the difficult questions so that in year 10 and year 11 they're in a stable family so that they can actually get the qualifications they need without moving schools. And hopefully that will raise achievement across the county for looked after children.
It's been a really exciting and inspirational day. I've been challenged by so many people who have thought very seriously about ways to take this work forward. I think the exciting thing for Paula and I was finding so much positive work that was being done, and I truly believe that it's happening out there. But what we hope the standards will support is the opportunity for people to draw those threads together and knit it into something that is very real for people at every level, staff and parents and carers and young people. If people are able to use the standards to look at their own practice at whichever level works for them, be it individual involvement in development of personal services right through to strategic or top level developments, then I hope they will find the document that works for them. And I hope that if they find that they have to adjust or tweak this starting point in a process, that they will be able to let people regionally know what they're doing, to demonstrate where they are, their achievements or progress, and share good practice so that we aren't all constantly having to reinvent the wheel. And if our standards can act as a starting point for that, then I will be delighted that we have been able to be a part of this.
I was upstairs on the Partners in Policy Making workshop, What I got from that and what I really liked was that the opportunity to empower carers to start looking at their lives as well as the lives of their sons and daughters. So when we were looking at the path and the way that person-centred reviews were going to take place, that we could actually start looking at supporting the carers at the same time, because it was very easy to look at the review, do the review entirely around the needs and wants, quite rightly, of where that young person was going. But I did notice through the role play that it was very, very easy to leave the carer behind. So that, I think it would be great with the policy, with that sort of course, to enable carers to be able to find a balanced approach to a review.
I've been really excited hearing about the range of work that's been going on in the Southwest, because it's one of those things that when you get people together, you hear about things you weren't aware were happening. So I think it's been a really good opportunity to get people together today and do some networking, and to see how the range of participation work going on in the Southwest really reflects a sort of different patterns that you've got all over the country, and I do think we've now got quite a good momentum going in the region, which I hope today's conference will help to sustain, and that individuals who go away today will feel they have renewed commitment and enthusiasm to making things happen.
The importance of getting the parents to be actively involved, not just as token representatives, and to take on the experiences that we've already got, to take the authority alongside the voluntary sector and the other parent carers, and to build it in so that it becomes an intrinsic part as opposed to just an optional add-on that at the moment seems to be the case. So to involve parents at every step of the way where possible.